With the new Nimbus now dropping inside of Diablo Immortal, we're going to have a lot of focus on challenge rifts. So much so that it may look a little bit different than we've seen previously. As we can see, the Nimbus is going to look pretty sweet. It's going to give an aura underneath your character. But remember, this is a temporary piece. If you're top 1 through 10, you're going to be getting the Nimbus for 7 days, and it'll expire on July 10th. If you're getting it 11 through 50, you will have it for only 3 days. So you're getting the same Nimbus, but just for a different amount of time. All right, so now let's take a deeper look here on what things are going to look like inside of the challenge rifts themselves. Tonight, I was actually running a bunch of challenge rifts, as last week I was at a decent level. There was a point when I was number 19 in challenge rifts. But right now, things are quite different. I'm at the leaderboard at 133. And if you're over level 800, you may come over here and say, oh, Echo, I'm not even here. You're not yet ranked. Well, that's because this is the normal challenge rift. Remember, if you have upgraded yourself to the Inferno levels of Beyond Hell 8, you need to look at Inferno challenge rifts, where I sit at challenge rift level 295 at standing 133. Now, with this being said, that shows that I'm not even in the area of getting a reward, not even a 3-day Nimbus. I have to crank out quite a bit more. Now, the good thing is I can crank out a bit more. That's not going to be much of a problem. It's the time it takes to do it, which is also not going to be a problem. The levels, though, are going to be pretty easy. But take a look at this. The levels that people have grinded since this update is actually a bit insane. Check this out. We have people that are, most people, let's look at level 100 where they sit. This is the last person that's able to get themselves a Nimbus. They're sitting at challenge rift level 314. That's 19 levels above where I am right now. Let's actually take a look at this person right here to see what their numbers look like. All right, so they're very high looking gear right there, in good position right here. And if we take a look at attributes, combat rating is 1,000 higher than my combat rating. So in actuality, it could be difficult for me or for you to push up this level. Now, when we get to the top here, everyone from number 50 up is level 350 on challenge rifts. That is the absolute top. So I'm going to need to get this done, get to level 350 most likely by the end of the week to be able to even compete in getting a Nimbus, which I have to say, I absolutely love the competition. What is going on here? What is this weird look? Oh, that's kind of creepy. Guys, we just broke Diablo Immortal. Check that out. This is wearing the Echo's skin, but also the previous Battle Pass skin. Wow, I haven't seen that before. Very, very interesting. Huh. Something's mixed up there. But what we were really here to look at here was the combat rating, sitting at 21,640. That is our current leader on the Iceburn tier server for challenge rifts. That's what I'm competing with. So for all of us that are trying to get this Nimbus, it's going to be a difficult task. What you need to do is push your challenge rifts, and you also need to push your combat rating. So to do that, you're going to be getting a lot of new pieces of gear. Recall that combat rating has been increased on gear and also separated from attributes. So you may have to, in some cases, sacrifice your attributes to get higher combat rating gear. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's not. There are cases where I got rid of triple stat gear to put in something that had a much higher combat rating. And there were also cases where I kept a triple stat gear because the combat rating increase was not large enough for me to say, okay, let's get rid of the 3 attributes and these magic elements that I like. So it all depends. It's a case by case, and in some cases I chose the better piece of gear over the gear with more combat rating. There is a difference, and that's up for you to decipher. For example, this one, my Ferocious Gale, I received another one that only had 1 magic element to it, but it had a combat rating of 1,170. I said to myself, it wasn't worth it. I'd rather have the triple magic right here. Now, for challenge rifts, you want to go with combat rating. Your secondary gear, you want to have the highest combat rating. And check this out, my secondary gear, only 2 of the pieces have the Inferno difficulty combat rating. So I'm going to need to continuously grind dungeons and craft items so that we can get ourselves the proper combat rating gear, because we could jump from approximately 900 up to 1100. So we can gain 200 combat rating for 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another 800 combat rating. And my combat rating as it sits right now is 18,664. So we could be well into the 19,000 combat rating. And that would very much help me push towards the next level. So if you want the Nimbus, which I know we all do because the thing just looks pretty darn sweet, well, you got to get grinding your challenge rifts. And remember, these things are not permanent. If you're 1 through 50, you have it for 7 days. If you're 51 through 100, you get it for 3. I'm sure there'll be opportunities for us to buy these in the future. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing for daily Diablo Immortal videos.